The following portion of Studio 4 is sponsored by Panhandle Legends.
It's a name we all know, especially if you've ever flown into or out of Amarillo. Rick Husband has left his mark on history, and now we get to learn a little bit more about this true Panhandle legend.
T-minus 10.
He always reached for the stars. A man of great intelligence, integrity, and goals. A man of great faith. A husband and father who earned his pilot's license at age 17. And then his career soared as high as his dreams. First, a U.S. Air Force fighter pilot. Then he became an astronaut candidate for NASA. His first mission was aboard Space Shuttle Discovery, performing the very first docking at the International Space Station. He then was the commander of the ill-fated Space Shuttle Columbia that ended in tragedy in 2003. He remains one of Amarillo's best. His legacy lives on. I'm Amarillo Mayor Cole Stanley, and Rick Husband is a true Panhandle legend.
I mean, all right, every time they freaking get me. And we're only 2 in, and I'm already misty-eyed. And so anyway, let's welcome our friend King Hill to talk about Rick Husband.
Thank
you. That was spectacular, that little promo there. That was great. So tell us why you chose Rick Husband.
Like a lot of the people who are using the series, he's exemplary in courage,
yes,
vision, and the fact that he followed his dreams.
Yes.
And a remarkable individual.
Yes, absolutely. I'm reading, I receive the little bios from them before we do these shows, and he was absolutely exemplary. So we weren't able to get Mayor Stanley with us today, the narrator of that segment, but tell us why you chose Cole.
I chose Cole because he's representative of Amarillo.
Yeah.
And he has that independent spirit as well. The mayor and I are friends. And I thought, what better person to represent the spirit of Amarillo and Rick Husband than Cole Stanley?
Absolutely, that is great. That is great. So what are a couple of things, we were talking before the show, what are a couple of things that you learned in all your research about Rick? I know I have a couple gems, but you start.
I was impressed with the fact that his dream came early. At 5 years old, he told his father he wanted to be an astronaut.
Yep.
At 5. His father had been a pilot, his brother was a commercial pilot, and then Rick Husband, of course, went on to be a pilot and then an astronaut.
Yes, absolutely. And so what was interesting that I read is there are, of course, Rick Husband International Airport is named after his legacy, but there is a mountain on Mars called Husband Hill. And then there is an asteroid named after him as well. And so those are things that were absolutely fascinating to me about him.
I want to encourage people to read more about Rick. His
Yes.
wife, Evelyn, wrote a marvelous biography called A Higher Calling.
Okay.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful, in-depth story of him, his faith, his vision, his desire, his dreams, and it really gives a good look at Rick Husband.
Okay, that's interesting. Yes, we will have to look for that. And so in anything else that brought him to the top of your list, I mean, shoot, he was a hard one to follow after Frenchie. So what else could you, that stood out to you the most about him that led you to this decision?
Every one of the episodes we're doing profiles a person of tremendous courage and also tremendous desire, vision, singular in their pursuit of whatever it was they were into. And Rick Husband is courage, he is faith, he is vision, and he achieved his dreams.
And how would you say Rick Husband represents the area?
He's a perfect example of the spirit of Amarillo and the Panhandle. He is that vision,
right?
That ambition, the dreams, if you will. The Greek for astronaut, by the way, the astronaut came from Greek, and it means star sailor. So when you think about early explorers like Magellan and Columbus going across sailors of the vast sea, what Rick Husband did was he's a sailor on the sea of the skies.
That's really cool. Another interesting fact that we had is that he docked the International Space Station, right? So he had to learn Russian. He had to know Russian.
Exactly. Astronauts who go to the space station are required to read and speak because many of the manuals or instruments are written in Russian.
Huh. Very interesting. Well, you guys go to myhighplains.com and you can check out that promo that we did again and learn a little bit more about Rick Husband. But stay tuned. We've got a little bit more Studio 4 on the way.
The preceding portion of Studio 4 is sponsored by Panhandle Legends.